Good evening, my friends. Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. I just completed an hour meditation, got up, put my mat away, moved the chair, all that kind of good stuff, and here I am. I'm not sure if you saw the guided meditation I put out several hours ago. But today's theme has been resistance. Well, that's the English term. The term that the Tao Te Ching use, also an English term, is yielding. Where we're either yielding or resisting. And the Yang path is about resisting. The Yin path is about yielding. And so the basic meditation for those of you who have just tuned in is on the in-breath, we ask the rhetorical question, what's noticing? It's 4 syllables long. On the in-breath, that's the in-breath. On the out-breath, we silently and mentally recite relaxing. That's 3 syllables. What's noticing? Relaxing. That's the meditation. And different things come up. And when things come up, that's not a problem. That's what's supposed to happen. Things come up and we notice what memories we are in resistance to, or what dreams or dreads we are in resistance to, or what emotions we are in resistance to, or what sensations we are in resistance to, or what circumstances we are in resistance to. And I've said all that to say this. I'm a big old sci-fi geek, and as such, I'm a little bit of a science geek. One of my science heroes is a fellow who puts out free videos 3 times a week on YouTube. His name is Dr. Michael Greger, MD. What I love about this guy is that he lets the science drive him. When looking at a study, he looks at who's funding it, the premise of the study, the organization of the study, the structure of the study, the sample size of the study, and so on. This guy never met a statistical analysis he couldn't whip up on. Really love this guy's integrity. He's taught me a lot about the empirical process. But there are many people masquerading as science experts who either A, have an agenda that's been bought and paid for, or B, are just tragically lazy-minded. They do not practice Richard Dawkins. They do not practice what Richard Dawkins calls intellectual integrity. They jump to wild conclusions based on broad sweeping generalizations, and it's just not fair. And so that was coming up in my great resistance to that. So as I was meditating, I noticed what was coming up, and then I noticed my resistance to it. And without moralizing, without judging whether it was good or bad, or my resistance was good or bad, I simply chose to relax. And there was great freedom in that. I don't know about you, but culturally, genetically, I'm a big old Jew. And there is an archetype within a Jewish community of the cranky, aging, opinionated Jew. Right here. And folks like me can get really worked up, cranking out that righteous indignation. And it just makes us miserable, and it makes it unpleasant to be around people like us. And we can be self-controlled and still churning inside. We're just cooking in our own juices. I don't recommend it. But to notice what I have a problem with, and to notice my resistance to the problem and then to relax is so liberating. Now you might say, dude, while you are making peace with the problem, people are getting bad advice and dying. Yes, that happens all the damn time. So the question is, what's the solution? Is raging the solution? Is verbal violence the solution? Is physical violence the solution? Well, the neat thing about the techniques of the Tao Te Ching is that by noticing what we are in resistance to and relaxing, we are centering. And that centering gives birth to spontaneity. The spontaneity born of chaos typically gets you thrown in jail, but the spontaneity born from centering gives great wisdom. Spontaneously, easily, effortlessly, it just flows from us. And that is the source of the choices and words and actions that can evolve humanity. And that, my friends, is all you get tonight. Remember, the Wednesday series of weekly webinars begins on the 3rd of February, and that's coming real quick. If you want to attend, below this video is a button that reads Show More. Give that a click, and I'll show you the link where you can start your registration process. Some people ask me how much it costs. Well, it's by donation. Some give a lot, some give a little, some give nothing. I only insist upon 2 things. Number 1, you come to class 5 minutes early. And number 2, you do your damn homework. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Bye-bye now.